Hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the channel. I'm Adam Wolf, and this is a first impressions video on SaGa Emerald Beyond. This is a new entry in the SaGa series. If you're not familiar with it, it is a long-running series made by Square Enix, another one of their RPG series that they've had going for so long. It is a standalone product, so it's not particularly part of any portion of the rest of the SaGa series, but I was actually unaware because I've played Romancing SaGa back in the day on PS2. I can't remember which one. I think it was Romancing SaGa 2. It was Romancing SaGa 2. Never finished it, but I didn't realize that the first game in the SaGa series was The Final Fantasy Legend. So there's 3 Final Fantasy games within the SaGa series. It's very interesting. Anyway, so Emerald Beyond is a standalone game in the series, so you don't need to play any previous entries to understand what's going on, I suppose. I'm not familiar with, any other SaGa games except Romancing SaGa, so this will be interesting to take a look at. It is obviously being developed and published by Square Enix, and it is coming out on April 25th, the same day that Sandland comes out in Japan on the 25th. But the 26th is when Sandland itself comes out in the goes out worldwide, the same day as Stellar Blade. So I think this game and Sandland are kind of in trouble when they're releasing on that's so close to freaking Stellar Blade. But what are you gonna do? And it's coming out on Android, iOS, Switch, PlayStation 4 and 5, and Windows. No Xbox. Square Enix is pretty strong in their stance on staying on PlayStation, apparently. So anyway, without further ado, let's see what this one's about.
Right then. Last name Mido, first name... Huh. Never seen this one before. How is it pronounced?
Tsunanori.
Huh?
Tsunanori. And I'd appreciate it if you don't forget it, okay?
Oh, Tsunanori. Of course that's what it is. Very sorry about that. It's an awful thing to get a person's name wrong. Eesh. People in this country are always so uptight about their precious names. Well then, Tsunanori Mido, you have been chosen to participate in the Cathedral Project. Your presence here today is considered an indication of your willingness to cooperate. I trust you have no objections?
Heck, this isn't the kind of thing a guy's really allowed to refuse. Figured it'd be easier if I just marched in like I wanted to be here in the first place. I heard the heavens were on the other side of the stone gate, but I didn't think everyone meant it so literally.
Greetings, Tsunanori. If you are hearing this message, it means you managed to pass through the stone gate.
Heck, that's Uncle Tadamichi. So he left a message inside one of the Kugutsu, eh? Guess this means everything's going just like the guy planned.
Long ago, our family supported our country's emperor in visiting peace and order upon the land. Since then, however, the world has changed and our power has been lost.
Okay. Jeez, that was lengthy. And obviously this is, I don't know if this is a section of the game that's at the beginning or towards the beginning. It looks like it might be just because it's a tutorial sort of thing here. But right off the bat, I don't like the fact that I can't change it to Japanese. There is no option. It's just English the whole way, which I generally don't like the English acting in most of JRPGs because it's not that great. It's not as expressive and it doesn't sound as good. And I can say that without a doubt, this main character is boring. It's interesting how this game works because you start off with this guy, but you have a choice of, I want to say, maybe 5 other characters beyond this guy. So like a total of like 6 characters, I think, that all can be played through the game in their own storyline. So that's interesting. That adds a lot of replay value to the game. But the way that they've gone about doing the cutscenes, the art style is fine, but still images, you know, and then it's got this weird border around it. I don't know why they did that. So I'm not really a big fan of that. And I noticed this is the PS5 version, by the way. I noticed that the anisotropic filtering is extremely pulled in. So that doesn't look good at all. I don't think it's necessary for a game like this with such a specific art style. But anyway, that's nitpicking. Let's get into the game and see how this works.
Time to get serious.
So yeah, it's all turn-based. You can easily just kind of...
Who should I aim for? Who should I aim for?
Oh, I see. Okay, that switches between... So it's all turn-based combat, and then we kind of just... I don't like the UI. It kind of looks amateurish. Nothing against, you know, Square Enix, but, I mean, it does kind of look amateur-ish. Okay, so you choose a target, right? Quick shot, unblockable. So, obviously, you want to try and go over to the left as much as possible. Oh... I see. You have the star system, so you have a certain amount of stars you can fill out, and then you're kind of screwed at that point. Interesting. That's the balancing act right there. So I've got only 2 characters doing anything.
Each tech has its own combo range. When these ranges meet on the timeline, the attacks join together to great effect. This is called a united attack.
All of a sudden, they're reading out all this stuff. Alright, so now we have an extra star to use up. Alright, so now we're going to... Weird that... Look at how this one kind of turns gray or something. So I wonder if the timeline, you see the bars there that are filling in, it takes up 3 slots, but only 1 star? Okay, now this thing's gonna attack and miss completely. That sucks. So each turn we get another star to use, and depending on the length of the fight, I'm sure, you know, boss fights will be a lot longer because, well, there's more time. Who can I get to the far left? I don't think I can get anybody to the farthest left section.
May we never fall from such heights.
They're all kind of just like... I wonder what this... Let's just do one and see what happens here. I can't do it. For some reason. I don't understand. You see it's missing a time. I don't know what that is. I'm confused by that and that one. I can do this one. So I couldn't do the other one for some reason. I don't understand that. Alright, this will give us 1. That's 2 segments. We'll do this one. This demo feels very much akin to Sandland, where it's just throwing you in the middle of the game to kind of just give you an idea, but it's not really allowing you to kind of understand anything at the beginning. It's kind of just giving you a taste, which is fine, but I am
Allies can rush to the aid of whoever
a bit
acted
confused,
first
to say the
and
least.
launch an attack at the same time.
Okay, so this is the menu. This is options. There's no graphics menu or options either. It's just brightness. So this is like really old school type of game. Oh, wait. Oh, here we go. Here we go. I'm not push it. You have to hold it. I obviously read that wrong. So that's our door, eh? Oh, so not everything's voiced, apparently. They pay these voice actors to voice, and they don't voice everything. What a massive door. Do you suppose it'll open if you give it a push? Okay. The string of light connecting a vision to a protagonist is called a wave. Interacting with visions causes all sorts of events to occur, and engaging with such events drives the game forward. There are even times when new visions appear as you progress. Or progress, excuse me. Let's open the door. Doesn't matter if I push it or if I pull it, or if I pull. This thing won't budge. The Gate of Beginnings. If I may, I believe that door will not open unless something is done about this contraption first. If I may? Who's he saying that to? Hey, look what I just found lying on the floor. What do you know? The thing we have to insert into the door. You figure plugging in this triangular deal here will do the trick. Deal here? This dialogue is honestly amateurish. Okay, so obviously the game itself is running at a pretty rock solid, excuse me, 60 frames a second. I'm not seeing too much in the way of frame rate drops or anything like that. But I gotta say, I'm not really feeling this game at all. Like, it's just, the dialogue is amateur, the acting is pretty bad and pretty, like, I don't know, campy, I guess would be a word to use. It's really not grabbing me at all. So the Emerald Wave is going to point me to a being of power, eh? Probably best to check that out. Halt, you suspicious stranger. She could have just said halt. Wait, you mean me? I'm not suspicious. You're in a world that you don't belong in. Yes, you are. Do you see anyone else standing around? Also, you most certainly are suspicious. People don't just come falling out of the sky. Not even in the witchdom Pultra. Now, who are you and where did you come from? Now, hold on just a tick there. Is that where I am? And does that make you an actual witch? Oh, yeah, I forgot to mention this game deals with witches, apparently. I'll ask the questions here, stranger. Now answer me, or else. Heck, lady, no need for the scary stuff. So I'm Sunanori Mido from Miyako City. Not that I think you'll know what any of that means, but there you have it. Miyako City. Wait, that might have been the world where Amaya was dispatched. So why are you here, Sunanori Mido, when you don't seem to even know? You don't seem to even have known this is the world of witches. Well, I came here looking for a being of power. See, there are 4 gods, the black tortoise, the white tiger, the vermilion bird, and the azure dragon, and a being that possesses the power of one of them must be in this world. Oh, and you know the spirits too, more suspicious by the minute. Say, would you mind undoing this ivy maybe? It kind of stings a bit, or stings a lot, if I'm being honest. I mean, I'm not going anywhere, and if I start acting funny, you can just tie me right back up. I bet he'd like that, wouldn't he? I can't take any more of this. I can't. This is, oh, this is not good. It's not the combat, it's the combination of literally everything. All of it is just awful. I know Square Enix they don't put out bangers left and right. I know that for a fact. But this is by far, has got to be one of the worst attempts at an RPG they've ever done. They've had years of turn-based RPGs to look back on and learn from, and while the turn-based combat is fine, the user interface sucks. The graphics are undoubtedly hampered by, you know, the last-gen system. You know, they are bringing it out on PS4 as well as mobile, which is, that says a lot, actually. So, and it's built on Unity, which is not saying that Unity is bad. I've seen a lot of great games come out of Unity, but it doesn't look good. The dialogue is written by a grade schooler. I mean, the main character is insufferable with the way he talks, but it's just like, the dialogue is so bad. And not only that, but again, you've hired voice actors. Why aren't they voicing every single line? Why do I have to read some stuff myself? That's a budget-saving tactic right there. The fact that I can't change it to Japanese so it sounds even remotely better is a problem with me. It's a problem for me, actually. The combat system in general, I think it's very complicated because you have all these different meters to pay attention to. Because, like, I was choosing abilities to use, and I didn't notice that there's this star system here that I'm sure that the tutorial might have covered. I just kind of glossed over it because my eyes glazed over. Where it's like, oh, each person takes a certain amount of stars to do an action, and then some actions you can't do because of the timeline. It is way too complex. And I'm sure that if I was able to start at the beginning of the game, it would have been far easier to understand. But I already don't like this. I've already kind of checked out. The moment I got into combat and I started trying to figure out the system and everything, I was like, this is far too complicated for what it needs to be. And I hope I'm not the only one who thinks that. Maybe it's just my feeble brain. But I don't like the way it's laid out. The user interface is it's bad. It's really bad. Why do buttons need to be that big? Not only that, but they're aliased. So they're definitely of low quality. This is not a good effort by Square Enix. I'm sorry. It's a good thing this is a standalone game in the series, because otherwise, if it was tied into, you know, another portion of the series like Romancing Saga is, they've got like 3 of those games, or 4, I should say. It would not be good. It would not be received well, I don't think. I don't like this game at all. So, if you want to give it a try for yourself, there's a demo out on PlayStation, and I'm sure all of the major systems that it's coming out on, it probably has a demo on each one. Give it a try for yourself. If you like it, God bless you. I don't like it. The dialogue alone is enough to make me cringe and walk away. I can't take this seriously. You can be cutesy with your writing, but also be sincere about it, and this one is not either of those things. You know, there are games like Star Ocean that do cutesy writing better, and it doesn't sound cringe. It doesn't make me wince at hearing it. And the acting is much better. This sounds like the main actor just kind of phoned it in. You know, there's barely any inflection in his voice, and it's just, so bad. And the graphics are bad too. And the reason is because it's coming out on mobile, so they had to adjust it. So it doesn't look good on top of just not being good at all. So I don't like it, but you might. So give the demo a download, see if you like it. Glad there's a demo. Otherwise, people would waste $60. If you are looking forward to this game, it's coming out on the 25th. I don't expect it to do very well just because it's coming out the day before Stellar Blade. And that's a big mistake. Stellar Blade's going to be the talk of the town when that comes out. It's already the talk of the town. So I highly expect this to just be looked over and fall by the wayside, especially with the way this game is now. It's really bad. So, but give it a try for yourself. Those are my thoughts on this. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below, and please join me again in the next video where we take a look at another demo and hope that it makes a good first impression. But until then, I'm Adam Wolf. This is SaGa Emerald Beyond, and I'll see you guys later.